Marketing Your Private Practice is a podcast where you'll learn easy to implement tips and strategies to grow your business without spending all day online. I'm your host, Kathy Colaiacovo, and I teach practitioners the Thrive marketing method to create simple and streamlined plans by focusing on long-term strategies, not just social media. Discover ways to spend less time on your marketing, attract more clients, and build the financial freedom that comes with a thriving practice. One where you have time left in your day for the people and things that matter to you. Marketing Your Private Practice is a podcast where you'll learn easy to implement tips and strategies to grow your business without spending all day online. I'm your host, Kathy Colaiacovo, and I teach practitioners the Thrive marketing method to create simple and streamlined plans by focusing on long-term strategies, not just social media. Discover ways to spend less time on your marketing, attract more clients, and build the financial freedom that comes with a thriving practice. One where you have time left in your day for the people and things that matter to you. Hey, private practice heroes. Thanks for tuning into the podcast where you're going to learn easy to implement tips and strategies to build and grow a thriving practice without spending all day on social media. I'm your host, Kathy Colaiacovo, and I've worked with hundreds of practice and business owners over the past 14 years, helping them grow their businesses to 5, 6, and even 7 figures. Whatever makes them thrive is the goal that we're after. And today I want to talk about your marketing foundations, because most practice owners don't realize how much these can affect your marketing results, and especially what happens from the time you spend doing your marketing. Now, I don't want to sound like the voice of doom, but your marketing foundations can make or break the results that you see, and that's why I wanted to talk about this today. We will talk about how sometimes all you need is that outside perspective to help you optimize your marketing foundations so that you can get them working for you better than they are now. How about even having them working for you when you're not working? That's the dream life, if you ask me. Now, if you've been following me for a while, you'll know that I talk a lot about how marketing should not rely fully on social media. There are 2 main reasons for this. Number 1, social media is rented space. It's space that you don't own or control. And number 2, your marketing foundations are the things that you do own and do control for the most part. So let's talk a little bit about this, because when you rely on social media only, you're not fully in control of the community and the audience you have and the connections that you've made. Those social media systems own all of that information and they control it too. The likes and connections on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn, all of that information and how you can reach out to people outside of social media belongs to those systems, not to you. And they control it. And I will tell you, I've been in business doing marketing online since 2008. And I've watched many people lose a lot because they did rely on social media. I've seen Facebook pages shut down with no warning. Instagram accounts get locked and even closed for breaking their terms of service. Twitter and LinkedIn accounts locked and shut down. Groups on Facebook. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I have witnessed so many groups that have gotten closed without warning or frozen because something one of the owners or the admins did tended to break the terms of service. And often you get no more clues other than those actual words. Sorry, you've broken our terms of service. I've tried to help a lot of these folks, and I will be honest, we have had very little positive endings. Over the years, the people that have come to me who've had their groups and pages deleted, most of the time, those things were gone and we never got them back. We just couldn't get past the walls of the social media companies to, 1, try to understand what rules were broken, and 2, figure out how to move forward and go ahead and get them back. They just literally lost these groups and the access to the people within them. I've even had my inner circle group, the private Facebook group I run with my Marketing Mastery Inner Circle membership. And it's recently had a couple of posts that my members have put in there deleted for what they call flagged content. And I tried to figure it out as much as I could. And you know what was said in those posts? Both of them had the words emotional eating in them. So that was the only thing that we could figure that triggered this flagged content. And I can say what I want, but it's their rules. It's not mine. And it's actually one of the reasons why I'm looking at moving that group off of Facebook. But you just don't have the control that you will with your email marketing system, with your website, because you're paying those companies for a service. And whatever you do with them, there's a piece of that inherently that is yours that you own and control. Social media will definitely help you market your practice or your business. But I'm telling you right now, if you rely on that and focus 100% on using only social media for your business, when you do this, you are putting your business at risk. And most importantly, you're not building systems that will last for the long term. So, as we get into talking about these ways that you can optimize your marketing foundations and how that can help you, and talking about marketing audits and how those outside perspectives can help you, I just want you to remember that as you look and plan and do all of your marketing, that you need to think and possibly revisit how much you're relying on social media if it is a huge part of what you're doing. So, what do you do instead of that? Well, you get your business and your marketing foundations in place. When I work with clients and members in my programs, they will always learn how important these foundations are through the marketing audits that I do with them. It's part of the programs that I offer. And there are 10 marketing foundations that we always focus on. And I do go into detail on what these 10 foundations are in episodes 2 and 3 of the podcast. So I'll link to those in the show notes for you. But just for a quick review for you of all 10 of your marketing foundations, they are: number 1, your website and SEO. Number 2 is having a Google business profile. Number 3 is knowing your ideal client and keywords as well. Number 4 is creating that anchor content on your website consistently. An anchor content is like a blog article or a podcast episode, okay? It's content that you're going to put on your website. It's not exactly newsletter content, but I have another blog I can talk to you about on that topic as well, and I'll link to that in the show notes too. The 5th marketing foundation is optimizing your social media profiles. Number 6 is having your analytics and your stats tracking process in place. And just to be clear, you do not have to be a Fortune 500 or even 100 or 50 company to have a way to track your analytics and stats. I have some easy ways that I get people started doing this very thing, no matter what size your business or practice. Your 7th marketing foundation is having an email marketing system and a list. Number 8 is your lead generation system. So it's how you're bringing new leads into your business or your practice. Number 9 is having a content storage system so that you have a plan in place for creating and storing your content. And number 10, of course, is a content marketing plan, knowing exactly what you're going to do, when you're going to do it, where you're going to do it, and where you're going to focus your time with your marketing, and in particular, the content you're creating for your marketing. So those are the 10 foundations that I refer to whenever I talk about your marketing foundations. And when they're in place and working, they really do help ensure that the time you spend on your marketing pays off with results. And whenever I say results, I really mean 3 things when we talk about a business or a practice. Results means more website traffic. Results means more leads. And it also means more clients. Those marketing foundations make these things happen. But when your focus for marketing is all on social media, some of these critical elements and foundations get missed. And that's why whenever I do marketing audits, I typically find elements that are missing or that need some work and need optimizing when it comes to looking at the foundations for my clients and people in my programs. So, understanding how these foundations work and connect together always comes to light when we talk about social media profiles, for instance. Most people really get it when we look at their Instagram profiles, and I do an audit and I see them using one of those link tree or link in bio types of link tools. After the audit, I will explain why this is a mistake and how they can make one change on their Instagram bio that will actually get them instant increases in website traffic. And when we go through this process in the marketing audit and we look at how they're using that link in bio or Linktree tool, which is what I call a social media tool more so, then they totally understand why those marketing foundations are so important to what they're doing and their overall big picture of growing their practice or their business doing the marketing that they are doing. And you can check out episode 18 if you want to understand what I'm talking about in more detail on this link tree or link in bio types of link tools. So if you are using one of those, I highly recommend listening to episode 18 because you will want to change that by the time you're done listening to the episode. So, when I do these marketing audits, there's lots of positive things that come out in some of the flaws that we find that people are doing. And the best part about them is that when my clients fix up the issues that we find and they address the recommendations, that's when changes happen and they start to see the light and they really understand how these foundations will help them grow their business by reaching more people, and the foundations actually make it easier to do the marketing. And most importantly, it makes it a lot easier for people to be reaching out to them so that marketing shouldn't all be about you chasing people down online. Part of your marketing is making sure people know how to reach you and can find you. So that's why they're so important. And the importance really came to light for me a few years ago when I started seeing the audits that we were doing as part of the Thrive Marketing Academy in particular were really changing things drastically for folks when they started addressing the issues we found. And that's why 2 years ago, I made those audits part of the core program that I have in the Thrive Marketing Academy versus being some bonuses that I would put in when I had a special launch or had a special bonus package. It really became clear when I started doing more and more of them how critical they were to the success and growth of the program members. So it became part of the main program material. Now, when we talk about having success and having great things happen when we do these audits, I wanted to give you a couple examples of some of the things that have happened after the clients and folks in my programs took these marketing audits, had these marketing audits with me, and then took action from what we had suggested. So Melanie had done some changes to her homepage and SEO from a website audit we did. And soon after, she had a prospective client turn into a paying client, and they originally found her from a Google search online from her keywords. So she was just thrilled with that, and she could see the connection on how making sure your homepage and understanding how you need to think about SEO with your website pages is so important. Now, Coco was somebody else who we did a social media profile audit and a website audit. And she made some changes right after the social media audit that we did. And she made it easier for people to get her contact info, basically, is what she did from that on her social media profiles. Within 24 hours, she had 5 people reach out to ask about booking a consult or working with her. So making those changes within a day, there was 5 new consults booked in her calendar because of them. Adrienne started getting more clients booking with her team of dietitians when she made some changes to the homepage, the website, and the contact page from a website audit we did. But she also did some changes to her Google business profile as well. And those changes actually started seeing her and her group practice getting an average of 5 contact requests a day. So they had, on average, 5 people reaching out to them every day to ask about booking a consult or to ask about working with a dietitian. So well worth the time that they put into making the changes that they did to get that growth in how many people are reaching out. Stephanie is someone in the Thrive Marketing Academy who recently did a website audit, and she went right to work making changes. She's really a great implementer. And within 30 days, her team of therapists saw an increase in client bookings of just over 35%, which for them was almost 90 new bookings in 1 month. Now, yes, they're a team, but if you are a solopreneur or a solo practice owner or business owner, looking at having an increase of 35% for yourself versus having a team would still see you getting several new bookings each month. And the reason that she had those changes was she made it easier and optimized the way that people could reach out and connect with them and book a call through the website pages that we looked at on her website audit. These marketing audits that I did, really what they do is give program members that outside perspective from an impartial third party. And that kind of view and strategic review often uncovers gaps that, as the business owner, you're too close to it all to see what you might need to change and what might not be working. When you get that outside and impartial view, it really does open up a lot of different avenues and ideas. Things that, as the owner, you just can't see because you were too down in the trenches with what you're doing. But also, part of it is because my expertise is marketing versus helping people heal through nutrition or therapy. So I definitely look at it from that kind of lens versus the business owner who is looking at it from what they're normally used to doing or seeing and how they work with clients every day. So having that outside perspective can make a really big change. And so for the folks in my programs, they really have got a good understanding now of why I made the change to the academy and made these audits as part of the core program because the results are really awesome. And the audits had more benefits to the members in my program than I really ever imagined were possible. And it's all about having that outside view of me reviewing their marketing and their foundations and giving them the exact things they needed to do, specific steps specifically for them, their website, their business, their own social media. And it's not something that we do in the group parts of the program. It's something that I do for every person in the program. There's different stages that we do them at to go along with the training, but they get done specifically for each member in the program. So it's not a group review, it is a very custom review. And that gives them the actionable steps and things to do specifically for their business. Now, the other thing that started happening when we did these audits was that my clients and students could see exactly how important some of these marketing foundations were. They hadn't realized what role some of them played in the success that they could see with their marketing. But now they could see very clearly how these foundations could make a difference because they saw the results that happened from the changes. And many of these results were very significant. And more importantly, they were significantly related to the exact changes they made. And even folks that saw a smaller level of change could tell the difference before and after their audits. So we do 4 types of audits in the academy. So the first one we do is a social media profile one. Then we address the website and SEO setup. Then we look at doing a review of an article. So I will also do a marketing audit of an article, whether it's for a blog or a newsletter, so that they learn specifically what they need to do to optimize even those articles that they're going to use in their marketing. And the fourth one that we do a marketing audit of is their lead generation system. So I focus on these 4 items because those 4 specific audits encompass a lot of the marketing foundations. So as an example, the social media profile audit mainly focuses on foundation number 5, the social media profiles. And we do this one first in the program because often folks are connecting and networking online. And making sure that other people know how to reach you when you're doing that is really key. And that's how Coco had all of those people reaching out immediately when she made these changes. She'd been networking in all these different Facebook groups, and people were looking for someone like her that could help them. And once people could now reach her through those avenues, they started reaching out to her and they started asking for a call. Sad part was we often wondered how many calls she may have missed when she had her social media profiles locked down a lot more before the audit. Now, when I do a website audit, we're typically looking at marketing foundations number 1, number 3, number 4, and a little of number 6. So we look at the website, the SEO, your keywords, and knowing your client. We look at the anchor content as well. And then we're also typically checking that you've got your analytics set up too. And the goal of website audits are really to make sure that not only does the message on your website reach visitors to your site, but that the information that's there reaches the search engines as well, because your website is there for two different people, potential clients, but also the search engines who can send potential clients to you. So that's why those ones are really important, and we do those as well. The article audit is really a way that I can ensure that when folks are creating blog or newsletter articles, that they've created and formatted their content so that it connects with people and helps move them to action if part of the goal of the article is to have a call to action. So whether it's helping people understand what you're trying to teach them, to learn something of value, or to take action by contacting you or signing up for a lead magnet, we want to make sure that articles, and we do this in the audits, is making sure that they are set up as effectively as possible so that people know exactly what to do and take from the information that you are putting into that content. So when you have someone look at how you're writing for marketing with your content, it often gives you ideas and ways to boost the results that you're getting from the time you put into creating that content. And that's why I do these article and blog audits. Plus, a lot of times people will learn a little bit better how to improve the formatting of the content so that it not only helps people consume and read it, but helps the search engines find it as well. So when we do these article audits, that typically covers a couple of your marketing foundations too. Number 1, your website and SEO one, as well as number 4, creating the anchor content consistently. And it usually works in the email marketing and lead generation system as well, because a lot of times you're either sending the newsletter out through your email system or you're using your call to action to put them into your foundation number 8, which is your lead generation funnel. And that's why we also do an audit of your lead generation system setup and your funnel. And this one covers a lot of elements because this is really an important piece of marketing a business or practice online, is having a way to generate new leads. So this one typically covers, I think, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 5, 6, 7, as well as being number 8. So it just crosses over into so many foundations that if you are missing the mark on it, you can often be having issues with people signing up and getting your lead magnet and bringing in those new leads into your system and into your business or practice. So that lead magnet really does affect a lot of the marketing foundations because it is such an important one. And it is a key part of, like I said, marketing your business when you in particular market it online. But there's also ways to connect your lead generation system to your offline marketing as well. So we talk about that a lot of times too, in looking at, where are you putting out that page where people can sign up for your freebie for your lead magnet. So that's a key part of this. And the whole thing is when you have that irresistible lead magnet, which is one your client wants, that's how you're going to grow that list of leads and prospects who are people that ultimately will become clients. So this foundation is one of your more important ones. And this audit is a critical one that we do. One client I had in the inner circle, we did an audit of her lead magnet and she made the changes to that. And then all of a sudden, she started getting more people booking consults from the call to action in her lead magnet in her ebook. And those consults started converting about 15% to new clients. So that was quite a change that happened for her just from making a change in the lead magnet itself. And like most of my clients, she really was surprised at how that small change could make such a big difference in the results. So this is why I go on about the importance of your marketing foundations, but also having audits done or getting that outside perspective on those foundations as well. It's because I really want you to understand their value and what it brings to your marketing plans. most people really dismiss their marketing foundations as something that's not really necessary, not valuable, and really you don't need to have it in place to get your marketing to work and to grow your business. But I will tell you that most of the practice owners who book consults with me or join my programs, initially they come to me wondering why their marketing isn't working and they don't know where to focus their time. They don't know where to spend their time when it comes to marketing because the time they are spending isn't doing at all what they hoped or hoped would happen. So they know something needs fixing. And typically, when we go through some of these audits, it comes back to some of these marketing foundations either being overlooked or dismissed as not really important. And once we get into the audits, that's when folks see how important they are as part of this success factor when it comes to marketing your private practice. The fact is, your marketing foundations do work. And when they are working well, they help your marketing work even better, and I also like to tell people they help your marketing work even when you're not working. This is where, if you have them set up and going through a system and a process and making sure that they're all connected, that's when it can have that effect of my marketing does things 24/7. I can be out there living life, enjoying time with my family because my systems and the marketing are set up to work without me. And they really do help guide your marketing activities and help you know exactly where to spend your time when it comes to marketing. And that is probably one of the biggest questions that practice and business owners ask me about marketing is where do I spend my time? They always want to know, and this is typically in their own words, where do I get the most bang for my marketing bucks? Because no one wants to be wasting time out there. Well, that's one of the critical things your marketing foundations will help you determine as well. When you go through them one by one, check off what you have, optimize what you have and what you need, that's when you can figure out where you should be and where you should spend and focus your time when it comes to marketing your practice. So, what can you do now to use this information I've been sharing today to help your marketing, to help your practice or your business? What action step can I give you today from the lesson? Well, you can sign up for a free marketing audit with me. This is something I offer folks through my podcast, and you can apply to get your own marketing audit to get that outside perspective on one area of your practice or your business. So here's how the free marketing audits work. You apply for an audit on my website at pepperitmarketing.com/audit. And don't worry, I'll link to that in the show notes. So you fill out the information there. If you're chosen for an audit opportunity, my team and I will reach out to you to book your audit session. We'll get into a session in my online podcasting studio and do your audit. It takes about 20 minutes. I tell people book about 30 minutes. We're probably going to be about 15 or 20 minutes on the actual audit itself. And it's really easy to do. You really just have to share some of what's not working about your marketing with me, and we'll go through some steps and talk about what you've got set up and check out that particular area of your business or your practice so I can give you some next steps to do and what you should be fixing in that particular area of your marketing. Now, the one thing you need to know, these audits are custom to you, so it will just be you and me on that call, and they do focus on your specific business, but they are recorded and shared as an episode on the podcast, so they're not private, okay? You can definitely do them with me privately. I do offer them as part of the program, and there is a fee to get in really in-depth marketing audits with me, but this is a way to get a taste of it and try out some of these marketing audits too. So the thing about it being a podcast episode is it also means that they're promoted and live on the podcast. So it really is extra marketing for you and your practice or business too. So I encourage you to take this opportunity and get a free marketing audit if you would like to. And you can apply again at pepperitmarketing.com/audit and sign up today. The thing that I want to make sure that you're taking away from this information today is that you don't dismiss those marketing foundations as something you don't need and you can get by without. When you work on them, when you optimize them, you will see changes. You will see growth in your practice. You will see something new happening that you may have never expected to happen before with your marketing. So if you do have any questions about any of these action steps, or you want to ask a question on another topic, or have me consider a topic that you want to learn about for a future podcast episode, feel free to send me a quick voice message at speakpipe.com/KathyC, or you can direct message me on Instagram, and I'll have links to all of those in the show notes wherever you're listening to this podcast from. So this is Kathy Colaiacovo, and I want to say thank you so much for listening in, and have a fabulous day. And remember, if you want to be thriving in practice, it will start by factoring your marketing foundations into the planning you do for your marketing. If you can get an outside perspective on this, that will often boost your results a lot faster, because that impartial view will typically give you information that you might not have been able to spot yourself. And that will help guide you with some of the best places to spend your time with your marketing, and make sure what you do is more effective too. And that is the fastest path to growth in your practice. You can find all of our show notes and resources mentioned at marketingyourprivatepractice.com. Be sure to connect with me on Instagram at pepperitmarketing and say hi. I'd love to hear any feedback you have, and make sure to rate and review the podcast and hit subscribe on your favorite player so you don't miss any future episodes. You can find all of our show notes and resources mentioned at marketingyourprivatepractice.com. Be sure to connect with me on Instagram at pepperitmarketing and say hi. I'd love to hear any feedback you have, and make sure to rate and review the podcast and hit subscribe on your favorite player so you don't miss any future episodes.